I'd like to introduce the candidates for City Council District 3. James Stowe, Democratic and Working Families Parties and incumbent to my immediate left, and Michael Ferrara, Republican and Independence parties. We will begin opening statements with Mr. Ferrara. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Michael Ferrara, and I'm a candidate for the New Rochelle City Council, District 3, on the Republican and Independent lines, rows B and C. I am a New Rochelle resident for over 40 years, a homeowner in the Stevenson Park section of District 3 for more than 20 years. I'm a retired New Rochelle police detective after nearly 30 years of service and served as the PBA president for 9 years. And I'm a graduate of the New Rochelle school system and of Iona College, class of 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree in criminal justice. The reason I'm seeking office in District 3 is that I believe the pendulum has gone too far in the direction of the developers, leaving the neighborhoods to wait their turn to have their problems dealt with on council. I present to you my vision for New Rochelle. If elected, I pledge to get back to the basics by opposing reassessment, reduce the frenzied and congested redevelopment in our downtown until the consequences of our schools, sewer, and infrastructure are addressed. Require mandatory on-site affordable housing in every development project. Not vote for any corporate tax abatement. Enhance neighborhood quality of life. Make flood mitigation a top priority for our neighborhoods. Focus on the illegal housing and the house dorms that devastate our neighborhoods. Promote the elimination of onerous park fees and expand youth programs. Prioritize residential street paving. I ask that you listen to my vision and my pledge of hope for the future of our city and seriously think for a moment that time has come for a rebirth of representation in Council District 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stowe, you have 2 minutes.
Good evening. I would also like to thank the League of Women Voters for providing this opportunity for the entire citizenry of New Rochelle to bear witness to the two candidates for Council District 3. I am the sitting incumbent, and I'd also like to say not only am I endorsed by the Working Family Party, but I'm also endorsed by the Uniformed Firefighters Union of New Rochelle, the Westchester Black Democrats, and also the Putnam Westchester AFL-CIO. I'm probably one, if not the only, candidate that is running that is not a native New Rochellian. However, I would ask that you, and I know you won't hold that against me, this is my second time living in New Rochelle. We lived here back in '59, and we loved the city, and we thought this is a city we'd like to return to and to eventually retire and live out our great ages. I'm running for re-election to complete and to expand on the very many projects that I have either co-sponsored or championed myself, such as the affordable housing policy, and I'm pleased to note that my opponent recognizes the significance of that policy. That policy is a leading-edge policy. It has been recognized by the Housing Council, and I was a guest speaker last Friday at the Pace Law School. Some of the other programs which we are very satisfied with are the youth programs, starting with the very young, the reopening of the daycare center, which is now operating at maximum capacity. It was closed for some 2 years prior to my coming. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now begin our question and answer period. The first question will be from New Rochelle League of Women Voters President Joan Silverstein.
I guess by now you know our question, but I will repeat it because it really is important. This issue of representing a district, but also having to look at the city as a whole. I'm sure there are times when there may be some conflict there. So with that in mind, we would ask, what do you see now as the most pressing issue in the city, and more importantly, now that we're talking about districts, the most pressing issue in your district? Thank you.
Mr. Stowe, you have 1.5 minutes.
Thank you. I see several questions. It's a question that is vend in its nature. One of the most important issues that we are confronted with is our infrastructure. It is old. We are a very old city, and we do have infrastructure problems. Now, the flooding that has been occurring most recently throughout the city, the city has taken very aggressive steps to address those issues. I was one of the first to recognize that the April flood was not an aberration only, but the city had other issues. And we were able to repair a major storm drain break up in Waikagill Country Club, which should, by all measures, go to helping us resolve part of that problem. Now, fully recognizing that it is a problem that is not just merely New Rochelle's problem, it's a regional problem, we will be looking at regional solutions. What happens in Mamaroneck certainly happens in New Rochelle and certainly gets passed on to Pelham.
Thank you. Mr. Ferrara.
Thank you. I think the issue that cuts right across the entire city, from north, south, east, west, is the same issue that cuts across the United States, and that's the reassessment. Property tax is the #1 issue on everybody's mind. Unfortunately, we are less than 2 weeks away, and we didn't see the report that was ordered up close to 2 years ago. No one on council tried to ask the city manager to get that report out so we could see it, and we all could take a look at it to see where the incumbents stand and where the challengers stand on the issue. This is a major league issue that's going to confront us after election, and we should know about that going into this now. Very, very important. I think the citizens of New Rochelle have been very lax on this issue. We should have been holding their feet to the fire to get out. The other issues that are slaughtering District 3 is the lack of affordable housing, the floods, and the house storms that proliferate all up in the back on Chauncey and Mountjoy. When I listen to my opponent speak about the flood problems, the flood problems just didn't start in April. That entire district back there in Halcyon Park knew about it when Mayor Bramson was running as city councilman. He failed to address it then, they failed to address it now, and they became very reactive. Only now that we're 30 to 45 days out in front of election, there's a lot of damage control as it relates to that.
Thank you.